ever wished for something new in your life and you just can't seem to make it happen? One of the most common reasons for this is because we disregard the principles of creation. It's based on the fact that we are the architects of our life. But in order to create change, there needs to be a space for change. Join me as we explore this often forgotten principle and how you can apply it in everyday modern life. Let's get started, shall we?
Well, hello, beautiful people, and welcome to the Project Joyful podcast. I'm your host, Tracy Tutty, your medical herbalist and high performance coach. So, hey, Project Joyful isn't just about being happy. It's about consciously creating a life you love. It's about remembering how to reconnect with your soul-centered joy. You know, that joy that comes from doing what you love, from living on purpose, and from being in a life that allows you to experience deep joy moment by moment. So hey, let's get started, shall we?
Are you wishing for something different in your life? Do you have a space in your life earmarked for that something new? I recently had this conversation with a client. She was ready for love. She felt ready to leave her identity as happily single and embark on a new adventure known as a woman in love. Except that her happily single life was filled to the brim. Out most nights and weekends, various girlfriends dedicated to a particular advice category, you know, the tell it how it is one, and the cheerleader and the adventurer, holidays booked well in advance with various girlfriends. When we discussed what she felt was missing, it was the intimacy and growth that comes with a 24/7 relationship. But the challenge was that there was simply no room for the experience of introducing somebody new into her life. When we delved a little bit deeper, there were relationships that she felt were past their use-by date, friends that took more than they brought, people she filled in the spaces of her life with, not because she enjoyed hanging out with them, but because they created a distraction from the yearning to be engaged in something more meaningful. I'll let those go when something better comes along. It's tempting. It helps us feel safe, but it doesn't facilitate change. If we keep doing what we're doing, we'll keep getting what we've already got. When we wish for something new, the something new comes when we take the courageous step of doing less. Our ego mind gets louder, more desperate to keep the status quo. Underneath the chatter is the still, quiet presence. If you tune into that, you will feel the peace, the solidness, the strength. Lean in and you'll hear the answer. Do less. Create space for miracles. Let go of the toxic relationships that use up your precious time in exchange for very little. Be still and listen. Elizabeth Gilbert talks about your elusive creative genius, the muse that moves from consciousness to consciousness, whispering ideas. Your job is to be still and catch the idea, then act on it. Go to that gallery opening on your own. Don't hide in the corner. Open your heart, lift up your head, smile, engage, be open. Grab a coffee from that place down the road, invite conversation. You just don't know which miracle awaits. Nothing exists in a vacuum. Create the space. Be consistent with your intention. Open to possibility. Be ready for the magic to unfold before your very eyes. Whenever you want to start anew, ask yourself, where in your life right now do you need to create space for your heart's desire to emerge? Whether that be decluttering your home, taking your shoes that are currently stored in your bottom drawer at work home, noticing the negative self-talk and choosing to stop it, blocking out 30 minutes each evening to check out the job section or 30 minutes to sit in silence and be. Change comes when we change within. When we choose to be the person who has the courageousness to invite space into her life, your external world moves to accommodate your new way of being. Choosing a new way of being can be scary because we don't know the timeline or where we'll end up for sure. But if right now we do know for sure that we're not happy or something is missing, why would we choose to stay in that place? It reminds me of a great piece of advice I received from my coach once. I was in full flood, lamenting how hard things were. She asked me one life-changing question. She said, "So how bad does it need to get before you'll make the change?" And in that instant, I was free. So here's my invitation to you. Invest some time being still and notice. Notice the thoughts. Notice what you wish for. Notice what you're ready to let go of. Then act. Create the space in your life. Be the person you choose to be and do the things that that person would do. Sending you lots of love. Bye for now.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's podcast. Can I ask you a favour? If our conversation spoke to you today, could you please take a moment to leave a 5-star review? Your review will help people discover this podcast, and together we can create a world where there's even more love and more laughter. And if you want to hear more from the Project Joyful podcast, just click the subscribe button. Bye for now.